A one storyteller presents a tale that will leave you questioning the very fabric of justice and humanity in our society today. Welcome to a world where power dynamics collide with deeply ingrained prejudices and where the line between right and wrong becomes disturbingly blurred. In this gripping narrative, we delve into an extraordinary incident involving a racist female police officer whose actions against a pregnant black FBI agent spark a chain of events that no one could have anticipated. This story is not just about conflict and confrontation. It is about resilience, courage, and the unyielding spirit of those who refuse to be silenced by injustice. As we embark on this journey together, prepare to be immersed in a narrative that challenges your perceptions and stirs your emotions. The characters you are about to meet are not mere figments of imagination, but representations of real-life struggles and triumphs. Through their eyes, we will witness the raw intensity of human experience and the profound impact of systemic biases. A one storyteller invites you to open your mind and heart as we unravel a story that is as thought-provoking as it is unforgettable. Stay tuned for what happens next, because the twists and turns in this tale are nothing short of unbelievable. The encounter began on a crisp autumn morning in downtown Chicago, where Special Agent Nia Johnson, a decorated member of the FBI's Cybercrime Division, was conducting routine surveillance near Millennium Park. 7 months pregnant and determined to maintain her field status, Nia had spent weeks tracking a sophisticated hacking operation targeting major financial institutions. As she reviewed encrypted communications on her secure tablet near the iconic Cloudgate sculpture, she remained acutely aware of her surroundings, yet focused on piecing together crucial evidence that could dismantle an international crime syndicate. Officer Patricia Whitmore, a 12-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department, approached the scene with characteristic authority. Known within the department for her aggressive policing style and controversial stop-and-frisk record, Whitmore had recently faced multiple complaints regarding racial profiling. Though none had resulted in formal disciplinary action, her arrival at the park that morning stemmed from responding to a vague dispatch call about a suspicious person matching Nia's description loitering near federal property. A report later revealed to have originated from an anonymous tipster. The initial interaction quickly escalated when Whitmore demanded Nia produce identification despite the prominent display of her FBI credentials around her neck. Nia's calm explanation of her status as a federal agent and presentation of her official identification did little to assuage Whitmore's growing hostility. The officer's demeanor shifted from professional inquiry to accusatory aggression as she questioned why someone like you would be conducting investigations in this part of town. The racially charged undertones became unmistakable as Whitmore repeatedly dismissed Nia's explanations and federal authority. What began as a standard request for identification transformed into a heated confrontation when Whitmore attempted to physically restrain Nia, citing suspicious behavior and failure to comply. The situation intensified dramatically as Nia instinctively stepped back to protect her unborn child, prompting Whitmore to escalate her response. Despite Nia's repeated assertions of her federal status and attempts to de-escalate the situation, Whitmore maintained her aggressive stance, radioing for backup while continuing to challenge Nia's legitimacy as a law enforcement officer. The tension reached a breaking point when additional officers arrived on the scene, each time amplifying the hostile atmosphere rather than diffusing it. Whitmore's unwavering determination to assert control over the situation, regardless of Nia's clear federal authority, set the stage for an unprecedented clash between local law enforcement and federal jurisdiction. The peaceful morning in the park had transformed into a battleground of authority bias and escalating tensions that would soon capture national attention and spark widespread debate about systemic issues within law enforcement practices. The arrest itself unfolded with shocking speed and brutality, as Officer Whitmore disregarded protocol and proper procedure entirely. Despite multiple witnesses, including several other federal agents who had arrived on the scene attempting to intervene, Whitmore forcibly handcuffed Nia, using excessive pressure that caused visible distress to both the agent and her unborn child. The physical altercation drew horrified gasps from bystanders as Whitmore ignored Nia's pleas about her pregnancy and continued to apply unnecessary force during the restraint process. When Nia instinctively tried to protect her abdomen, Whitmore interpreted the movement as resistance and responded with even greater aggression, slamming the pregnant agent against the patrol car hood. The booking process at the precinct descended into further chaos as Whitmore deliberately withheld critical medical information from processing staff, failing to note Nia's pregnancy status or provide appropriate accommodations. Throughout the ordeal, Nia maintained her composure, demanding to speak with her superiors and requesting immediate contact with the FBI director's office. However, Whitmore systematically blocked all communication channels, confiscating Nia's phone and preventing her from accessing any federal resources. The situation grew increasingly dire when Nia began experiencing concerning symptoms of abdominal pain and contractions. Yet Whitmore dismissed these as attempts to manipulate the situation, refusing to summon medical assistance. Legal violations mounted as Whitmore proceeded to fabricate charges against Nia, alleging obstruction of justice and assault on a police officer, despite clear video evidence from multiple angles contradicting these claims. The officer went so far as to falsify her incident report, omitting crucial details about Nia's federal status and the circumstances surrounding the initial encounter. Particularly egregious was Whitmore's decision to place Nia in general holding, without regard for her vulnerable condition, exposing her to potential harm from other detainees. The deliberate nature of these actions became apparent when internal communications later revealed Whitmore had been warned by her sergeant about the presence of federal agents in the area, yet chose to proceed with the arrest regardless. Perhaps most alarming was the systematic documentation tampering that followed. As Whitmore worked to build a false narrative supporting her actions, she pressured junior officers to corroborate her account, threatened civilian witnesses who contradicted her version of events, and actively sought to suppress security footage from nearby businesses. The extent of the misconduct became undeniable when independent investigators later discovered that Whitmore had accessed Nia's personnel file without authorization, searching for any information that could justify her prejudiced treatment of the agent. Each procedural violation compounded upon the last, creating a perfect storm of institutional abuse that would eventually trigger multiple investigations and public outrage once the full scope of Whitmore's actions came to light. The aftermath of the incident sent shockwaves through both law enforcement communities and the general public, sparking immediate reactions that ranged from outrage to calls for systemic reform. Within hours, social media platforms erupted with the hashtag #JusticeForNia, trending nationwide, as citizens shared their own experiences of racial profiling and police misconduct. Prominent civil rights organizations, including the NAACP and ACLU, issued joint statements condemning the incident while demanding an independent investigation into both Officer Whitmore's actions and the broader culture of the Chicago Police Department. The FBI director himself held an emergency press conference vowing to pursue all legal avenues to hold those responsible accountable and ensure protection for agents in the field. Local community leaders organized peaceful protests outside the Chicago Police Department headquarters, drawing thousands of demonstrators who carried signs reading, "Blue lives can't trump black lives," and "Protect pregnant agents, not persecute them." The city's mayor faced mounting pressure to address the growing unrest, calling for an immediate review of police protocols regarding interactions with federal officers. Meanwhile, Officer Whitmore's colleagues found themselves caught in a media firestorm as journalists uncovered patterns of similar incidents, involving the officer raising questions about why previous complaints had gone largely unaddressed. The incident particularly resonated within law enforcement circles, where many officers expressed dismay at how the situation had been handled. Several high-ranking police officials privately acknowledged that Whitmore's actions represented everything they had been working to eliminate from modern policing. The Fraternal Order of Police initially defended Whitmore's conduct, but quickly reversed course after reviewing the overwhelming evidence against her. This internal conflict highlighted the deep divisions within police departments nationwide about how to address systemic issues while maintaining public trust. As the story gained national attention, it reignited debates about qualified immunity, police accountability, and the urgent need for comprehensive reform across all levels of law enforcement. In a stunning turn of events that would redefine the boundaries of justice and accountability, the unfolding drama took an unexpected twist when forensic analysis of Officer Whitmore's personal devices revealed a series of incriminating text messages exchanged with known white supremacist groups. These communications detailed not only Whitmore's premeditated plan to target minority federal agents but also exposed a coordinated effort among certain rogue elements within law enforcement to undermine diversity initiatives across multiple agencies. The discovery prompted an immediate expansion of the investigation now led by the Department of Justice, which uncovered a network of officers sharing similar ideologies operating in various jurisdictions nationwide. The revelation triggered a cascade of consequences, beginning with Whitmore's immediate termination and arrest on multiple felony charges, including conspiracy to obstruct justice and violating civil rights under color of law. More significantly, the investigation led to the implementation of groundbreaking reforms within police departments across the country. The Chicago Police Department adopted comprehensive measures including mandatory implicit bias training, enhanced oversight protocols, and the establishment of an independent review board with real disciplinary power. Federal legislation quickly followed, mandating body cameras for all law enforcement officers nationwide and creating a national database to track police misconduct across jurisdictions. Perhaps most remarkably, the incident catalyzed unprecedented collaboration between law enforcement agencies and civil rights organizations, resulting in the formation of joint task forces dedicated to rooting out systemic racism within police ranks. These initiatives produced tangible results, with dozens of officers implicated in similar networks being identified and removed from duty. The case also led to significant policy changes regarding the treatment of pregnant officers in the field, establishing clear guidelines and protections that balanced operational needs with health considerations. As news outlets covered these developments, the nation witnessed a rare moment of collective progress, where tragedy transformed into meaningful change, demonstrating that accountability could indeed lead to positive transformation. As we reach the culmination of this remarkable story, a one-storyteller invites you to reflect on the profound lessons embedded within these events. This narrative serves as a powerful reminder that true change often emerges from our darkest moments, and that every voice matters in the pursuit of justice. We've witnessed how individual courage can spark movements, how accountability can lead to transformation, and how communities can unite to demand better from our institutions. Now it's your turn to join the conversation and become part of the solution. We want to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you encountered similar situations in your community? What changes would you like to see implemented in law enforcement practices? Share your insights in the comments below, and let's continue building this vital dialogue together. Your perspective matters and could inspire others facing similar challenges. If this story has resonated with you, please show your support by liking and subscribing to A One Storyteller. Our channel is dedicated to bringing you compelling narratives that matter, stories that challenge perceptions and drive meaningful change. By joining our community, you'll gain access to more thought-provoking content that sheds light on important social issues while celebrating human resilience and progress. Don't miss our upcoming episodes where we'll explore other transformative stories of courage and change. Click the notification bell to stay updated and be part of our growing movement for positive impact. Together, through shared stories and collective action, we can create a world where justice truly serves everyone equally. Thank you for being part of this journey with A1 Story. Stories matter, and every voice can make a difference.